Do you love silly stories for kids? Why not consider joining our family? You can even get a very special message from one of your favourite silly stories for kids characters. Head over to the website to find out more. It's your support that helps us to continue to make exciting stories and more crazy content.
Did somebody say crazy?
Oh, Pimpin, no. One day, two little boys named Samuel and Joseph were playing in their backyard. Now, it was getting very close to Christmas, and Samuel and Joseph had been watching all kinds of Christmas movies on the TV. "Mum, why doesn't it snow in Australia at Christmas time?" said Samuel. "Well, because a lot of the movies that you watch are from the Northern Hemisphere, where it's winter at Christmas time. We live in Australia. It's in the Southern Hemisphere, which means it's summer during Christmas time." "Oh, okay," said Samuel. "I've always wanted to make a snowman at Christmas time, though," he said. "Oh, well," said their mum. "Well, I guess you could go find some things in the backyard and pretend to make a snowman." Okay. "Do you want to come, Joseph?" said Samuel. Joseph smiled and ran towards the door. "Yippee!" he said. They raced outside. What could we use to make a snowman? They looked around the backyard. Well, there's some grass clippings from when Dad mowed the lawn." Samuel went and grabbed all the grass clippings and piled them into a big pile. Joseph started lifting them up and chucking them on top as well, until there was a big pile of grass clippings. "Well, that works. What else could we use?" They looked around. Maybe we could use... maybe one of Mum's pillows," said Joseph. "Okay," said Samuel. So he raced back inside and grabbed a pillow off the bed. He popped it on top of the giant pile of grass. It looks a bit funny." "Squish it up," said Joseph. "Oh, okay," said Samuel. So he started squishing the pillow up into a ball. He squished and he squished until... poof! The pillow popped. "Uh-oh," said Samuel, as feathers went everywhere. Joseph laughed, and he started collecting them all and popped them all on top of the grass. I guess it's kind of starting to look like a snowman." "He needs some buttons," said Joseph. Okay," said Samuel. He raced inside and found the recycling bin. He took the lids off 4 bottles and brought them back outside. Then he handed 2 to Joseph and stuck 2 in himself. They made the buttons down the front of the snowman. "What do we use for his nose?" said Samuel. "Carrot," said Joseph. "Okay. Do you want to go get the carrot?" Joseph raced inside, went to the fridge, opened it up. "Joseph, what are you doing?" said his mummy. He pulled out a carrot. "Oh, you're having something healthy to eat." He looked, smiled, and then ran out the door. He grabbed the carrot and stuck it into the pile of pillow feathers on the snowman's head. "All right, he just needs a hat and some eyes," said Joseph. "Oh, okay. Well, I'll get the eyes," said Joseph as he picked up 2 big rocks. "Okay, I'll go find a hat." He went inside and looked around. The only hat that he could find was an akubra. Okay, I guess this'll do." So they popped the akubra hat on top of the snowman, and Joseph stuck the 2 rock eyes onto the pillow face. They stood back and looked. "That is a funny-looking snowman," said Samuel. "Very funny," said Joseph. "I do not look funny," said the snowman. Joseph, did you hear that?" I did. "Hear what?" said the snowman. Mr. Snowman, are you talking?" "Well, what did you expect? You gave me a mouth and eyes and a nose. Why do I smell freshly cut grass?" "Well, I guess you're not a normal snowman." The snowman looked down at himself. "Ooh! Where's all the snow?" he said. "Well, we don't have snow in Australia. We had to make do with what we had." "Oh," said the snowman. "Well, it feels very comfy and a little bit itchy. This is very strange. Well, I guess thank you anyway for creating me." "Well, you're welcome, I guess," said Samuel. "Yes," said Joseph. "I did your eyes." "Oh, thank you. I feel like I have 20/20 vision. It rocks." Samuel laughed. "That's because your eyes are rocks." "Ho, said the snowman. "Well, what do you boys do for fun around here?" Well, I haven't really played with a snowman before," said Joseph. "Me either," said Samuel. Well, I have some ideas if you're interested. Sure, said Samuel. What should we do? How about a snowball fight? Samuel and Joseph looked at each other. We don't have any snow, they said. Oh, I forgot. Well, maybe if we use a little bit of... The snowman clicked his sticky fingers. Psh! Snow started pouring down from the sky. What? Said Samuel. Did you make it snow? Oh, of course I did, said the snowman. How are we going to have a snowball fight without any snow? Joseph was laying down in the snow, throwing it around and playing. This is the best, he said. All right, said Samuel, I guess we can have a snowball fight. So they started rolling the snow into little balls and throwing them at each other. Just then, their mummy came outside. Boys, what are you up? She got hit in the face with a snowball. Is this snow? Yes, said Samuel. Of course it's snow, said the snowman. Ah, said their mum. Why is that giant pile of grass and feathers talking? That's our snowman, said Joseph. A snowman, said their mum. Yes, I'm a kind of snowman. Not traditional, but still, I can play. Well, the boys were so excited, they were rolling around in the snow. Can we do snow angels? Said Joseph. I guess so, said their mum. Definitely, said Samuel. They laid down in the snow and started waving their hands back and forward. This is amazing! Just then, their neighbour looked over the fence. Hey, is it snowing in your backyard? Yeah, said Samuel. What? Said their neighbour. How did that happen? We just have a magical Aussie snowman. A what? They said. Never mind. Do you want to come play? Okay. So, the neighbour came over, but the neighbour was so excited that he messaged his friends. And the next thing the kids knew, all of a sudden, lots and lots of people started coming to their house. Cars rocked up everywhere, and all the people got out to come play in the snow. Pretty soon, there was a giant crowd of people all in the boys' backyard, playing with the snow and talking to the snowman. I've got an idea, said Samuel. What is it? Said his mum. We could have a giant neighbourhood snowball fight. Excuse me, Mr. Snowman, said Samuel. Yes, said the snowman. How much snow can you make? I can make lots and lots and lots and lots. Do you think you could cover our whole neighbourhood in snow? The snowman reached his hands out to the side, raised them above his head, and clapped. As he did, snow started pouring down everywhere over all of the houses in the community. Oh my goodness, said Samuel, it's snowing everywhere. Yippee, said Joseph. The people all laughed and cheered. Hooray! Then Samuel stood up on a big stool in his backyard and said, Okay, everybody, it's time for the giant snowball fight. Everybody head back to your houses and start making snowballs. When we say go, the game is on. Last person to get hit by a snowball is the winner. The people all cheered and went back to their houses and started making giant piles of snowballs. The boys worked together with their mum and their dad and made piles and piles and piles in their backyard. The snowman was dancing and wobbling the whole time with his Akubra hat sitting on his head. How do we tell everyone to go? I'll do it, said the snowman. Can everybody hear me? He yelled. All the people yelled out, Yes, we can hear you. Okay, it is time to play in 3, 2, 1, go! All of a sudden, all the people came charging out of their yards with snowballs and were throwing them everywhere. The boys were hiding behind some trees, throwing out their snowballs. Wow, there's too many people, said Samuel. Yes, said Joseph, there's no way we're going to win. Oh, you can with a little bit of help. The snowman clicked his fingers again, and all of a sudden the boys had giant slingshots in their backyard. What are these for? Oh, these are snowball slingshots. Give them a try. Each one of the boys took a snowball slingshot each and started aiming them at different people. They shot the snowballs with astronomical speed, and they were knocking people right off their feet. These are crazy, said Samuel. Whippy, said Joseph. People were getting hit from everywhere as the boys had their slingshots and were aiming them at anyone that came into range. "Try this one," said the snowman. He clicked his fingers again, and all of a sudden, sitting in front of the boys was a giant cannon. "Is that a snowball cannon?" said the snowman. Samuel went over and grabbed the cannon. "How do we make it go?" "See this button here," he said. "Press it whenever you see someone." "Okay," said Samuel. "I guess we'll wait and see." "I'm gonna press a button," said Joseph. He raced in and started pressing it over and over again. The snowballs were gigantic. They were the size of bowling balls, and every person that they hit, it knocked them right over, until eventually everyone started coming out of their houses with white flags. "We surrender! We surrender!" The boys laughed. "I think we're the winners, Joseph," said Samuel. "Yippee!" said Joseph. The boys were so excited, and everybody came around to have one last play in the snow. Well, I guess this has been a lot of fun. I'm so happy. I always wanted to build a snowman. "And I am so happy too. This has been the best snowman year of my life. Thank you, boys." "Thank you, Mr. Snowman." "But now it is time for me to go," said the snowman. "Goodbye, boys." "Goodbye," they said. And the snowman went very still and stopped talking. Just then, their grandparents arrived for dinner. The boys had forgotten that their grandparents were coming over for a special Christmas dinner. As they climbed out the car, their grandma slipped over on the snow. What is going on here? "Boys, where did all this snow come from?" she said. "Well," said Samuel, "I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you." And that is the end of the story. This episode has been brought to you by Snowman Slingshots. If you ever have a snowball fight, don't get caught out without a snowman slingshot. The only way to make sure that your opposition will never get close. This is a big thank you from me, the snowman, and from me, Sam. We'll see you next time.